As I was growing up in Colombia, we used to go to one of the local churches, and one of the pastors prayed over me that I would be sent to the nations when I was older and go take the gospel to just different regions of the world.
So my family moved from the Philippines into America before I was born. I grew up in Los Angeles, and during that time there was just a bunch of Asian gangs going on. You had that East and West Coast war happening, and I just kind of got spiraled into that really early at the age of 12, getting into crystal meth, ecstasy. My life just started spiraling down further and further until I met Jesus in the Philippines.
What's so interesting is that she prayed that over me next to my mom when I was older, and I felt like the Lord was calling me to missions and to move overseas. That was such a confirmation for my mom, just remembering what that pastor prayed over me when I was a little girl.
God called me and He revealed to me that there was going to be three things that happened in my life. One was that He was going to send me back to America, and I was going to work with other kids that were going through the same things as me. And then two is that He was going to send me my wife, and that was going to be a divine thing from my Father in heaven. And then three is that all of us were going to be called to Asia, to the Philippines together.
As the Lord called me to missions, I joined YWAM Kansas City, and we had a season of just being around the Chinese underground. And I just remember being so touched by their zeal for the Lord, their zeal to take the gospel to the hardest places in the nations that haven't heard of Jesus. And that was the time that marked me the most for missions. And I was like, Jesus, like, this is what I want to do. I want to give my life for other people to know who you are. That time together with the time when I was in Colombia as a little girl, that pastor prayed over me, and I just remember meeting Tommy and sharing with him like all my visions and all my dreams and what the Lord was saying and speaking to me about the nations, specifically Asia. I always felt like I was going to be in Asia at some point in my life.
And so now looking at it like 15 years later, that's exactly what the Lord did. And over the course of the years, I started realizing that the Lord just didn't call our family, but He called the entire nation of the Philippines. And we really believe that this is the generation that will see this side of Asia activated into the Great Commission, into kingdom activity, not just in full-time ministry, but also in different sectors of society, from media, arts and entertainment, government, education, family, just so many different parts of what makes up a society. We saw the Philippines really taking charge and leading out in that, in this part of the world. And so one thread that we've commonly seen is that so much of this generation is motherless. So much of this generation is looking for a dad.
That's how we ended up here, like as we prayed and we heard from the Lord and He led us here as a family. It's such a blessing serving in this nation, in the Philippines, with our family, with our children, just getting to see our little ones like going to the field and praying about how the Lord wants to use them at a young age. I remember in many outreaches we've asked, for example, Ariella, because he's our oldest, like, what is the Lord asking you to do today? How does He want you to take part of the ministry that we're doing? And she just gets things like, I want to feed the children today, or I want to get them candy to make them happy. I want to get them shoes, or I want to help with the medical outreaches that we do. And it's just so amazing to see them at a young age praying about how the Lord also wants to use them. And one of the things that we really want to continue doing in our families, this mission is not just about Tom and I and what we do, but also raising them up as little world changers from a young age, that they see that they can also take part of the ministry and the missions that we're doing. That's one of the things I love, being in the missions field and being here, so we get to do it together as a family. We're a family in missions.
And just from the testimony of our family, we're able to not just see our family on mission, but we're able to create a family on mission with everyone that we're in. And so that's just a huge part of our heart. That's a huge part of the movement. And everything we do, from directing the campus, from working with different sectors of society, from going to the educational sphere, everything has that missional impact. But at the foundation of that is that the family that we see that God has built inside of us, we want to see a family in God built out, where that family is actually the launching pad of destiny. And that's been kind of like the flag that we've been carrying for the last decade or so since our family has gone on to missions. So just as the Manay family, just thank you so much for your heart and your vision, and just even the interest that you have in Asia and seeing the Great Commission fulfilled. And so we're just so honored and thankful for everything that's happening. And even just living overseas, knowing that there's other people that are in different countries praying for us and fighting alongside of us, that gives us the fuel to actually continue this good fight until we see the return of Jesus.
Thank you so much for all of your prayers and your support for our family and missions. We are so encouraged by all of your words and your prayers for our family.